Have you ever felt like you're carrying something incredibly heavy, even when your hands are empty? It's not a physical weight, but something in your heart. A burden made of old memories, regrets, and what-ifs. And what if I told you that the very moment you decide to let it go, everything becomes lighter? This is a story about that moment. Once, in a quiet monastery nestled high among misty mountains, there lived a young monk. He had come to this sacred place searching for peace, but instead, he found only turmoil. His mind was a storm of painful childhood memories, family conflicts, and disappointments that clung to him like a shadow. Even in the profound silence of the monastery, his thoughts were a deafening roar. He saw problems everywhere, even where there were none. He would overthink every word he spoke, every action he took, every single moment, until his hope for peace was buried under a mountain of restlessness. One day, completely exhausted by the weight of his own mind, the young monk approached his master. "Master," he said, his voice heavy with despair, "I'm so tired. My past haunts me every day. I can't stop thinking about things that happened long ago, things I can't change. All I want is peace. Please tell me, what should I do?" The master listened with a calm, patient expression, and then a gentle smile touched his lips. "Come with me," he said softly. He led the young monk outside to a balcony overlooking the vast valley. He pointed to a distant hill, where a tiny speck of a hut was visible. "Do you see that small hut on top?" he asked. The young monk nodded. "An old monk, the wisest among us, lives there," the master continued. "He left the monastery years ago to meditate in solitude. Go to him. He will give you the answer you seek." A spark of hope ignited in the young monk's heart. Eager for freedom from his suffering, he bowed deeply and set off immediately. He climbed down the monastery's steep steps and began the long, arduous journey toward the distant mountain hut. When he finally arrived, he found the old monk deep in meditation, as still as the mountain itself. The young monk waited patiently, his heart pounding with anticipation. After what felt like an eternity, the old monk opened his eyes. "Master," the young monk said, bowing low, "please help me. My heart is full of pain. I can't forget my past. It follows me every moment of every day. I just want to be free." The old monk smiled, a kind, knowing smile. "I will give you your answer," he said, his voice warm and steady. "But first, let's go to the village below for our midday meal. A disciple there has invited us." The young monk nodded, feeling a wave of gratitude and hope. This was it. His answer was close. Before they started their descent, the old monk bent down, picked up a large, heavy rock, and placed it before the young monk. "Carry this with you," he said simply. The young monk hesitated, confused. Why a rock? But he was here to learn, so he obeyed without question. He hoisted the heavy stone onto his shoulder and began following the old monk down the steep, winding path. At first, he thought the rock must hold some profound, hidden lesson. He carried it with determination, focusing on his master's peaceful steps ahead. But as they walked, his arms began to ache. His back strained under the crushing weight. Sweat dripped down his face, blurring his vision. Every step became harder than the last, a struggle against gravity and exhaustion. All the while, the old monk walked calmly ahead, light, steady, and perfectly at peace. The young monk desperately wanted to drop the rock. The pain was becoming unbearable, but a thought stopped him. Maybe this is a test of my endurance. I must not fail. I must endure it. So he continued, struggling and suffering with every agonizing step. By the time they reached the bottom of the hill, his entire body was trembling. His legs felt weak, like they would give out at any moment, and he could barely catch his breath. The old monk, however, was sitting calmly under a tree, that same gentle smile on his face. The young monk, panting heavily, finally managed to speak. "Master, why are you smiling? I'm in so much pain. This rock, It made the journey miserable. Please tell me, what is the lesson in all of this? The old monk looked at him with kind eyes and asked a simple question. How was your journey? Terrible, the young monk gasped. The rock was too heavy. It made everything difficult. The old monk nodded. Then why didn't you drop it? The young monk froze. The question caught him completely off guard. But you told me to carry it. The old monk chuckled softly. I told you to pick it up, but I never said you had to carry it the whole way. You could have put it down any time you wanted. You chose to suffer, believing it was necessary. In that single moment, a profound realization washed over the young monk. The world seemed to stop. The old monk continued, his voice gentle but clear. This journey is your life, and that rock is your past, your regrets, your pain, your worries. You have been carrying them for so long, believing they are a part of you, that you have no choice, but they are not. Just like this rock, you can put them down anytime you choose. The moment you let go, your path becomes light and peaceful again. Tears welled up in the young monk's eyes. He let the heavy rock fall from his shoulder. As it hit the ground with a thud, he felt an instant, incredible wave of relief, as if a mountain had been lifted not just from his shoulder, but from his heart. The old monk placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. The past is gone, my child, he said softly. The only thing keeping it alive is you. Let it go, and peace will find you. On that day, the young monk learned the greatest truth of his life. Freedom doesn't come from holding on tighter. It comes from letting go. We all carry heavy rocks, our past mistakes, our pain, our regrets, our fears. We convince ourselves that we must carry them, that it's our burden to bear. But we don't. We never have to. The moment we decide to release them, we are free. Life becomes lighter, softer, and more beautiful when we stop clinging to what no longer serves us. Let go, and peace will follow. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. And as a promise to yourself, type "let go" in the comments below. Let it be a reminder that your freedom begins right now within you. Thanks for watching.